Thanks for stopping by. This is my section of Gina K Designs release party for June 2025. If you'd like to see the entire release video, please visit Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gina and Tom. Thanks for having me. It's June 2025, and we have an awesome release for you tonight. This morning, this afternoon. I'm really excited about it, but I'm also excited that you chose to join us for our release. Thank you for being here. All right, let me get started talking about my newest stamp set. It's called Birthday Wishes. And if you remember, about 3 years ago, I came out with a stamp set called Big Birthday. It was the first in my big series. I think there's 3 of those. Gina and I were talking a couple months ago, and we were talking about possibly doing dies for that set. And they were like, you know what? Let's just retire it and let's just have Debbie create a new one, and we'll do dies for the new one. So that's what we did. So this is Birthday Wishes. It has big stamps, small stamps, and medium stamps, all that say happy birthday. I do have a candle in there, and then I also really like this little birthday cake that has icing that reads happy birthday. I also have a small one and a kind of a pretty small one there too. I have medium-sized ones. I always like to have a small one because there are times when I have a quite busy card and I'm just looking for the tiniest little happy birthday to stick in the corner on the bottom there or on the top. So anyway, that's why those are there as well. Okay, let me also tell you about, we have a new stamp set coming out tonight called Pin Dot. I love polka dots. I don't know if you remember that about me, but I do. I have a little bit bigger dot in bitty backgrounds, and that's just about stamp about that big. But one of my absolute favorite techniques to do with polka dot stamps is to use clear embossing powder. So it's a tone-on-tone look, and it's subtle, but I just love the way it comes out and the way it looks. So give it a try. All right, let me show you my samples and be right back. On this card, my cardstock colors are Craft in the Navy, Cherry Red, and White. I used our Starstruck stencil for the background in the navy ink. That ink was also used for the greeting. And the panels are cut out of Master Layouts 10. On this shaker card, I used Turquoise Sea for my card base. The fizzy stencil was used for the background. Powder blue, blue raspberry, and apple mint are the colors. My fishes are from Best Fishes, and they are colored in Prismacolor pencils with some Gamsol. And those sequins have been in my stash for probably 10 years. And here's another shaker, but this one is a tag. I used our Circle Shaker die in slate and white cardstock for this one. My greeting is in white embossing powder, and I colored all the candles with my Prismacolor pencils. On this birthday card, my cardstock colors are Sweet Corn, Grass Green, and White. I used our Whimsical Primrose stencil. The colors I used for stenciling were Sweet Corn, Butterscotch, Tangerine Twist for my yellows. For my greens, I used Key Lime, Jelly Bean Green, and Fresh Asparagus. I finished off the stencil by using the new Pin Dot stamp set, and I love the way it turned out. To me, it looks like they are fabric flowers. They're so cute. I used Master Layouts 4 for the scalloped panel and finished it off with some of our beautiful rainbow pearls. On this card, I used Ocean Mist and White for my cardstock colors. I used the Pin Dot background in clear embossing powder. I colored my birthday cake in with my Prismacolored pencils and finished it off with some pink rainbow hearts. On this birthday card, I used lovely lavender, grass green, white for my cardstocks. I used our Princess Circle die in vellum. I also used our Sassy Stripes stencil in wild lilac ink. I used a corner rounder for that as well. The beautiful flowers are from Let's Get Started die set, and I used a little bit of alcohol markers on the inside of the flowers. I actually cut those in white, and then I used my alcohol markers on those. Finished it off with some of our soft white pearls. On this tag for a birthday gift, my colors are white, lucky clover, and dusty rose. I used the pin dot background on this one and the playful posies flowers that are cut in the dusty rose. I did my greeting in white embossing powder on that lucky clover cardstock for some contrast. On this card, I used innocent pink, dusty rose, and white for my cardstocks. The flowers are from Roundabout Florals, and I did color those in with Prismacolor pencils and cut that image again, as well as the birthday greeting, with craft foam and just glued those together for some dimension. I used the new pin dot background for the background, and that is stamped in dusty rose on the innocent pink. I used gold embossing powder for my greeting. I love that greeting. It is in 2 pieces, so you can put it together on the same line, or if you want to stack it like I did, you can go ahead and do that. I hope you enjoyed my samples. As always, I love to make cards, so I had a lot of fun with those 2 stamp sets. I did enjoy incorporating that pin dot into several of my cards and one of my tags. So this release, this is my favorite card. I just like the way it turns out. A lot of different products on there, but it's not really too busy, and I like the size of that happy birthday and that font. I thought that was just it worked really well together. And then this is an honorable mention. This card, I used that technique that I talked about where I like to do polka dots in clear embossing powder because it's a tone-on-tone look. And I also really like the happy birthday. I tried to find a font that looked kind of like someone would be doing writing with icing. So anyway, those are my 2 favorites. Again, I want to thank you all for being here with us for our release. Please tag me if you use any of my stamp sets. I really enjoy seeing your creativity and what you do with my stamp sets. Thank you again, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye. Keep watching for a few bonus cards that I will post over the next coming weeks. On this card, my cardstock colors are red, hot, black, onyx, and white. This is a mini slimline, so I used Master Layout 7 for my panels. On this card, my cardstock colors are soft stone and white. I used Master Layouts 4 to cut out the scalloped end stitch background panel. I then used our beautiful backdrop stencil to create clouds using soft stone and blue sky ink. My bird is from Blissful Birds, and he's colored in Prismacolor pencils. I used black onyx ink for the greeting and to stamp the bird. This card came together super quick. I used Tangerine Twist, black onyx, and white for my cardstock. I used the vertical greeting from the new stamp set, and I used 2 of our stencils. I used our confetti stencil, just 2 of the layers, and I used our balloon stencil as well. I did use a pen to draw the strings on the balloons. That's it. It came together really quick.